the Gulf Coast to the West Coast, welcome live to ESPN's coverage of the 51st Men's NCAA Volleyball Championships. Two rivals, two very familiar foes. Long Beach State, their 9th appearance in the championship match, won their first back in 1991, won in 2019 over their opponent tonight, the Rainbow Warriors of the University of Hawaii, the defending national champions, getting an aloha welcome to historic Poly Pavilion side of this year's championship. The 4th time these two teams will meet this year, the 16th time this championship has been in this esteemed building. Let's take a look and see how these teams got here. And it was not easy. Long Beach State trailed UCLA 2-0, came storming back, hung on in a nail-biter, winning at 16-14. Ball State gave Hawaii everything they wanted. Hawaii also coming back from a deficit 2-1 to win it and advance into the championship. And here we are for the title. Hi everybody, I'm Paul Sunderland. Welcome with my partner once again, Pepperdine All-American and 2-time Olympian Kevin Barnett. The semifinals on Thursday night were dramatic. They were very, very close, but did the two best teams in the country this year advance for the championship?
The simple answer is yes, they did. I think in a wide open season, these two teams have been the best. It very easily could have been UCLA Ball State. That would have been fine. But the consistency of these two teams has been key all year. They also have on the Long Beach side the best hitter in the country, and on the Hawaii side, the best setter in the country.
Let's take a look at the highlights from Thursday night. The semis lived up to everything, particularly the matchup between the Bruins and the Beach.
This one was back and forth, and by back and forth, I mean the first two were all UCLA, 18 and 18. Then Long Beach came storming back. They passed at a higher level, they served at a higher level, and when you have this guy, you have a chance. Alex Nikolov was not only the freshman of the year, he is also National Player of the Year, and he played like it towards the end of this one, eventually finishing with an exclamation point in a classic 5th set.
Long Beach absolutely took over the serve and pass phase in the final 3 sets. That's what got them into the championship once again. Ball State, the number 2 seed out of the MIVA, they scared the heck out of Hawaii.
Come and be who you are. Blocking, that was the key. 19 stuff blocks for the Cardinal. They were tremendous. Nobody knew what to make of these teams. They'd met earlier on, but COVID and injuries had a depleted Hawaii team losing in Muncie. Ball State was terrific, but Hawaii grounded out. The same way they ground out the Big West title against Long Beach a couple of weeks ago, they ground this one out and managed a fantastic comeback.
15-11, and Hawaii and Long Beach will play for the title once again. Hawaii looking to go back-to-back. You talked about the setting position. Here's the matchup.
Coach's son, he's had a terrific season, a lot of weapons on that side. Jakob Tele, watch him overhead in particular. Long distance to the opposite spot will be key. He loves to throw it. On the outside, this is a matchup you want to keep an eye on. These numbers are just in the previous 3 matches. Look at that production from Alex Nikolov. A little window into why he is the National Player of the Year. For Spiros Hakis, 214 is pretty low. That's only high enough after the final match. Played great. If he plays well, Hawaii wins.
Hawaii as a team hit only 241 against the block of Ball State, against a season average of 337. They will have to be much better, of course, in the attacking phase. But this is a heavyweight fight. I know that's a cliche, but these two teams are among the best in virtually every phase of the game, particularly offensively. Serving certainly a key each and every time out in men's college volleyball.
You're looking down these stats, and normally you would see something go, okay, this is where it's going to be decided. There's nothing in there to tell you how this is going to be decided. No one knows what's going to happen on the court here. It was a 3-setter for the Big West Championship. That could have been a 5-setter. Long Beach had set points in 1 and 2. It was deuce all the time. This is going to be a heavyweight fight, as you said.
27-25, 26-24, 25-23. 3 close sets again. It could have gone either way.
A superlative match.
There is Alan Knipe now in his 19th year at the Beach. Some final instructions for his 6'3" redshirt sophomore setting son, Aiden Knipe, who injured his hand the other night. There's a middle blocker, Shane Holdaway, 6'8" junior out of nearby Huntington Beach. And there's Charlie Way, the co-coach of the year in the Big West Conference with the University of California Irvine's David Niffen. And as mentioned, the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors at 26-5 on the year. The defending NCAA champions, having absolutely dismantled BYU last year, Kevin. We were there 3-0. But this is a very different Hawaii team. That Hawaii team from last year graduated a lot of stars, and they have stepped right in.
Yeah. Charlie's saying the 3 teams that have been in the finals are all different teams.
Best 3 out of 5 sets for an NCAA champion. Simon Torwey, right off the bat, he really helped to turn things around for Long Beach State on Thursday night. Came in, particularly at the beginning of the 3rd set, and dialed up a couple aces.
Call him the tree. 6'10", playing as big as a tree at this moment with that serve. It is deadly. It really was a big part of the comeback.
Born in Spain, now representing Germany, playing for the German national team. That's where Long Beach State found him. 1 service winner and 1 over the end line.
I don't know if we're going to have to consider a foreigner limit in NCAA volleyball the way they do in the professional leagues, the developmental leagues across Europe. Because last couple seasons we have seen a tremendous number of top talented foreigners, Jakob Telle among them.
From Norway, first team All-American. The starting setter as well for the Norwegian national team.
And his serve is wicked. Nothing short of wicked.
First look at Alexander Alex Nikolov, 6'7" out of Sofia, Bulgaria.
Second-generation player. His father, a national team standout for a long time for Bulgaria. And you'll see him bring that hand back. He has a very unusual hand position and then beats the heck out of the ball. So strong for a freshman.
Good sign for Hawaii. Tella and Guilherme Voss did not connect very cleanly on Thursday night. That one was ripped out of the middle by the Brazilian.
So Voss has eaten up Long Beach in each of the previous 2 meetings. They really don't have an answer other than trying to keep Hawaii from being able to set quick.
28 of 44 in the 3 meetings so far on the year. Nice swing over the top of the block. Clark Godbold, 6'5", sophomore out of San Pedro, all Big West Conference first team.
You're going to want to watch Clark and his numbers throughout this. He is the bellwether for this match for Long Beach. We know Nikolov's going to get his kills. Keep an eye on Godbold.
That's going to be illegally played by Hawaii. You can chase the ball on your opponent's side. There's an imaginary center line, but the ball has to go outside the antenna and then back outside to keep it in play.
And the women's
another service winner for Long Beach.
The women's game needs that.
Yep, I agree. The first ever freshman to be the National Player of the Year. That's how good this kid is. From behind, that ball through the block. That's down. No question that that ball is down. Dimitrios Mouklias, 6'6", redshirt sophomore out of Greece.
And there's a big argument to be made, Paul, that Player of the Year should have gone to Jakob Telle. Best center, he makes this team run. They have no singular weapon. He is the guy who's going to be determining the strategy and dishing throughout. As he goes, that team goes.
Here is Voss, already with an early kill. Second team All-American. That ball right on top of the net. And Aiden Knipe is in the back row, participated in a blocking attempt above the net. So that's a violation and a point to Hawaii. Tied at 4, best 3 out of 5 sets. First 4 sets to 25 points. 15-point tiebreaker, which was needed in both semifinals on Thursday night, goes to 15.
We were here for a while. We might be again tonight.
That was way past my bedtime.
So here's the thing about Godbold, who got that kill there. Through 2 sets, Godbold 0-48 on Thursday evening. So then he gets, pardon me, Godbold last time they met 0-48 in Hawaii, excuse me on that. But Godbold through 2 sets had 3 kills the other night. He came back 3 of 4 in the third, 4 of 4 in the fourth.
He finished 11 of 16 with no errors.
They need him.
Pulled away, middle blocker for the beach. Galloway. A little campfire defense by Long Beach State. That roll shot should have come up.
Yeah, keep an eye on Galloway's numbers. They have had Galloway pretty well bottled up in each of the previous meetings, have the beach.
On Thursday night in their semifinal, Galloway was 10 of 27, 6'3" sophomore out of San Diego. Hit .338 last year, bothered by an injured ankle. Most of this season, his numbers way down. Off the edge of the block and down. Galloway flying high.
This is going to be really good for the beach if Chaz Galloway can get going, keep giving direction and working off the Long Beach block as he does there. You mentioned his numbers. They have not been great.
Really good dig in the cross court that time by the libero, Brett Sheward, 6'2" sophomore out of Newport Beach. Oh, what a delivery and a dig that time. Beautiful dig by Mason Briggs. Welcome to our continuing coverage. We were on the app, now on ESPN News. We're bouncing around, and balls are bouncing around Pauley Pavilion. Long Beach State taking on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors for the 51st NCAA Championship with my partner, two-time Olympian and Pepperdine All-American Kevin Barnett. I'm Paul Sunderland. There's Godbold again. He has got a really live arm. Tied at 6. Big combination and a huge block. Really nice move that time on the block. Cole Hoagland, who has transitioned from being an opposite into an undersized middle blocker.
And he waited that time too. He knows that they like to go to that big attack. He definitely made a fantastic read there. Aiden Knipe, the less he can go to Nikolov early in this match, the better.
Galloway back to serve. Only 8 aces so far on the year. Pretty easy one there, handled very comfortably by Nikolov. And that over the top of the block, the first kill by number 31, Spencer Olivier, 6'6", redshirt junior out of Tustin, California. Honorable mention All-American this year. There's the series history of these teams. Out of the same conference, used to be in the MPSF. Now the MPSF and the Big West have gone their separate ways. Looking for back-to-back national championships, their 4th ever appearance playing for the title.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Big West has proven to be a strong conference. I think this year, arguably the strongest conference. You throw Santa Barbara in right behind him, who had wins over other national contenders throughout, and you can say those 3 teams alone carried that conference. But I thought at the end of the year, the MPSF also played well. Stanford peaked at just the right time. UCLA could have easily been in this match.
16-14 again against Long Beach State on Thursday night.
Pepperdine also played great.
Spiros Hakis with a really good kill. He is a superb passer for Hawaii. Alex Nikolov over the top of the block, and Long Beach State and Hawaii, as expected, in a very tight early battle for the 51st NCAA Championship. Welcome inside Pauley Pavilion, the 16th time this historic facility has hosted the national championship. We're bouncing around, first on the app, then on news, now on ESPN2. Thanks so much for joining us. Back to serve once again, the man who started it off with an ace, Simon Torwey, 6'10", stoutly built. Long Beach State staff found him. Oh, on the line again. Nick McCray, who's the associate head coach for Long Beach State, was coaching the USA men's junior team. They played Germany at the World Juniors, and they found Simon Torwey and maybe found somebody who's going to get him across the finish line. He was huge on Thursday night.
So many of these international connections on both sides have come from national team action.
Nearly a foot fault. And it was a foot fault. That's a good call. Good work by the linesman.
Yeah, Torwey throwing the ball a little too far out in front of him. But he has been a weapon thus far. You've seen him get an ace in each of his first 2 serves.
There's Charlie Wade in his 13th year. Once again, the defending national champions. He was co-coach of the year in the Big West Conference. It was Jakob Tella. Nice block by Hawaii. Working on Godbold and getting it done on the outside.
People generally don't think of Hawaii as a great blocking team. This year they have been one of the best, one of the elite teams in the nation. And part of it has to do with the service, putting people in trouble all the time. Tele breaking multiple records in the service game, both in conference and also in Hawaii history.
59 aces on the year against 52 errors. Unheard of kind of numbers.
Well, uncharacteristically, he had a whole bunch of errors on Thursday. He typically is quite consistent. Not only is he getting aces, but they're scoring in that rotation.
Nikolov already with his 3rd kill. Both teams solid offensively, particularly Hawaii. 5 of 6, no errors, hitting .833. Aiden Knipe once again back to serve. Oh, that's trouble.
Smartly done.
Good save that time by Hakis. Good block deflection. Nikolov ripping into the cross court and dug, but just over the sideline. Man, there are players who hit the ball fast. He hits the ball heavy and hard.
It's not predicated on speed. You can go ahead and put a 2 or 3 man block up in front of number 23. It's not going to matter. He has the tools to defeat it.
Misdirection, beautiful set that time by Tella.
By contrast, the other side, they have gone a little bit slower, but they are predicated on speed and deception. Tella delivering the ball on point, on pace, to keep his smaller outside and opposite at about 6'4", with 1 to 1.5 people in front of him on the block.
There is Hawkins again, the 6'4" sophomore, second-team All-American, also out of Greece. Good pass by Olivier. Nice little backhand flipper. Who says my hand is hurt? Aiden Knipe went into the scorer's table chasing down a ball, got angry and frustrated, slapped it, and cut his hand wide open in the 5th set against UCLA.
Yeah, that thing is the cheese grater. You don't want to mess with it. You do not want to be a piece of cheddar for it. He's taking a lot of grief, has Aiden Knipe, for his setting. That was a beauty.
An errant toss. A lot of people might not know, in tennis, you see players toss it and catch it, toss it and catch it, and of course apologize. In volleyball, you're in control. You toss it, you got to hit it.
It didn't used to be that way. It used to be you could let a toss go, and you know who would do it the most egregious abuse of that particular thing? Yuval Katz of Hawaii, the left-hander from Israel back in the middle 90s. He would take the ball and just throw it as high as he could and not even go after it, and then come back for another swing.
Back row serving specialist, number 25, Akana, 6'5", redshirt junior, out of Honolulu, into serve and does a nice job. Oh, that's a smart shot. Recycle the point. And the tip goes down.
Godbold gets the kill here, but it's manufactured by the smarts of Nikolov, and I think that's where he is beyond his years. Being a second-generation player, having the European experience, the amount of volleyball he's been able to play is higher than that of juniors here, and you see it in off plays, tips, rolls, the way he handles bad situations and cleans up previous poor contacts.
There is middle blocker hold away once again. Had a nice match on Thursday night, 6 of 7 in the semifinals against UCLA. Out of system. Oh, it's a good rip. Chaz Galloway showing no ill effects after playing with a pretty severely sprained ankle most of the year. He is really a high flyer.
Yeah, and Galloway comes in the tournament hitting .075. The more he can play like he's played in this first set, and I don't mean just the kills he's getting, the attitude, the swinging high, hard, with confidence. Don't start overthinking plays. Take big, smart cuts.
Talked about international experience. Muklias represented Greece in the European Championships last year at the senior level. Tied at 13. Galloway again. Nice dig that time by the libero Briggs.
You have to convert these. These are the kind of contacts here that win championships.
Right side over the top of the block by number 11, Dimitrios Muklias.
When you get a free ball, it has to be a kill 70-80% of the time. Do something to put pressure on the other team. Every time they make a mistake, you have to manufacture a point.
In system, perfect free ball pass. And you see the pressure that it puts on the block and defense. Muklias again. And that ball just over the sideline, tied at 14.
This is looking a lot like the Big West Championship thus far, Paul. It was a battle back and forth, a little bit of a push from Hawaii, 2-3 points. Long Beach would come back. We haven't even seen that much separation.
The media timeout. After this point, it comes at 15 if nobody has called a timeout. Joust coming, nice slam dink that time over the top of the block by Hoagland. And at the media timeout here at Pauley Pavilion, side of the 51st NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship, Hawaii for the 15-14 lead.
Kate Privet, now it's going to be 4th set point, LMU.
Kate Privet now walking like a woman on a mission, trying to come back in the 2nd set.
goes wide, and it didn't get a piece of the block. Wow, a 5th set point.
Florida State on a roll, but on the side change, Florida State switches to the bad side. Wind at their back. Wind way less of a factor than it was earlier in the day.
Yeah, it has died down. It's also not significantly hot today. Warm outside, but not like it has been. Oh, finally crushed it. Valma Preti on the 5th set point, and we are going to have a 3rd set at the 3s. Now, we want to pay attention right now to the 5s because Florida State won the 1st set. They're up in the 2nd set. This was the last point that just happened between these two. A big-time rally. Rafael Ramirez facing Moon and White. Finish it. That would lead to a timeout after that point, with Florida State leading by 2, and they're back up on the sand.
These pairs are battling such inspired defense, and no easy balls dropping, that's for sure.
You got to battle right now because your season is on the line. Service error makes it a 3-point lead, Florida State. Winner will get UCLA tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern in our semifinal, our 2nd semifinal. USC is already in the championship duel. Oh, a tough error there for Jacinda Ramirez.
Yeah, Jacinda Ramirez for LMU, she needs to stay aggressive. She was just going to drop a little short shot, but you always want to jump hard on your approach. Your approach should look the same whether you're going to shoot it or jump it.
Backing in! You can see the excitement on Caitlin Moon's face. The 5s are 2 points away from the semifinal.
Caitlin Moon aggressive at the net. Raylan White tough from the service line. Jacinda Ramirez needs to stay aggressive. She's getting blocked when she's shooting.
This 5s pair looking for their 1st win in this tournament. Florida State go on to the semis.
What a performance by Caitlin Moon and Raylan White, handing this LMU pair their 1st loss of the tournament.
Wow, and LMU is eliminated. Florida State will live to play another day. They will be in the semifinal against UCLA tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern here on ESPNU. The championship duel will be tomorrow at 4 Eastern. We can't wait to get back to the beach with you tomorrow, but for now, let's get you to the Men's Indoor National Championship. That's coming up right now.
Over the top of the block, and Long Beach State and Hawaii, as expected, in a very tight early battle for the 51st NCAA Championship. Welcome inside Poly Pavilion, the 16th time this historic facility has hosted the national championship. We're bouncing around, first on the app, then on news, now on ESPN2. Thanks so much for joining us. Back to serve once again, the man who started it off with an A, Simon Torwey, 6'10", stoutly built. Long Beach State staff found him. Oh, on the line again. Nick McCray, who's the associate head coach for Long Beach State, was coaching the USA men's junior team. They played Germany at the World Juniors, and they found Simon Torwey and maybe found somebody who's going to get him across the finish line. He was huge on Thursday night.
So many of these international connections on both sides have come from national team action.
Nearly a foot fault, and it was a foot fault. That's a good call. Good work by the linesman.
Yeah, Toby throwing the ball a little too far out in front of him. But he has been a weapon thus far. You've seen him get an ace in each of his first 2 serves.
There's Charlie Wade in his 13th year. Once again, the defending national champions. He was co-coach of the year in the Big West Conference. It was Jakob Tella. Oh, nice block by Hawaii. Working on Godbold and getting it done on the outside.
People generally don't think of Hawaii as a great blocking team. This year they have been one of the best, one of the elite teams in the nation. Part of it has to do with the service, putting people in trouble all the time. Tele breaking multiple records in the service game, both in conference and also in Hawaii history.
59 aces on the year against 52 errors. Unheard of kind of numbers.
Well, uncharacteristically, he had a whole bunch of errors on Thursday. He typically is quite consistent. Not only is he getting aces, but they're scoring in that rotation.
Nikolov already with his 3rd kill. Both teams solid offensively, particularly Hawaii. 5 of 6, no errors, hitting 833. Aiden Knipe once again back to serve. Oh, that's trouble.
Smartly done.
Good save that time by Hawkes. Good block deflection. Nikolov ripping into the cross court and dug, but just over the sideline. Man, there are players who hit the ball fast. He hits the ball heavy and hard.
It's not predicated on speed. You can go ahead and put a 2 or 3 man block up in front of number 23. It's not going to matter. He has the tools to defeat it.
Misdirection, beautiful set that time by Tella.
By contrast, the other side, they have gone a little bit slower, but they are predicated on speed and deception. Tella delivering the ball on point, on pace to keep his smaller outside and opposite at about 6'4", with 1 to 1.5 people in front of him on the block.
There is Hawkes again, the 6'4" sophomore, 2nd team All-American, also out of Greece. Good pass by Olivier. Nice little backhand flipper. Who says my hand is hurt? Aiden Knipe went into the scorer's table chasing down a ball, got angry and frustrated, slapped it, and cut his hand wide open in the 5th set against UCLA.
Yeah, that thing is the cheese grater. You don't want to mess with it. You do not want to be a piece of cheddar for it. He's taking a lot of grief, has Aiden Knipe, for his setting. That was a beauty.
An errant toss. A lot of people might not know, in tennis, you see players toss it and catch it, toss it and catch it, and of course apologize. In volleyball, you're in control. You toss it, you got to hit it.
It didn't used to be that way. It used to be you could let a toss go. And you know who would do it the most egregious abuse of that particular thing? Yuval Katz of Hawaii, the left-hander from Israel back in the middle 90s. He would take the ball and just throw it as high as he could and not even go after it, and then come back for another swing.
Back row serving specialist, number 25, Akana, 6'5", redshirt junior, out of Honolulu, into serve and does a nice job. Oh, that's a smart shot. Recycle the point. And the tip goes down.
Godbold gets the kill here, but it's manufactured by the smarts of Nikolov, and I think that's where he is beyond his years. Being a 2nd-generation player, having the European experience, the amount of volleyball he's been able to play is higher than that of juniors here, and you see it in off plays, tips, rolls, the way he handles bad situations and cleans up previous poor contacts.
There is middle blocker hold away once again. Had a nice match on Thursday night, 6 of 7 in the semifinals against UCLA. Out of system. Oh, it's a good rip. Chaz Galloway showing no ill effects after playing with a pretty severely sprained ankle most of the year. He is really a high flyer.
Yeah, and Galloway comes in the tournament hitting .075. The more he can play like he's played in this first set, and I don't mean just the kills he's getting, the attitude, the swinging high, hard, with confidence. Don't start overthinking plays. Take big, smart cuts.
Talked about international experience. Muklias represented Greece in the European Championships last year at the senior level. Tied at 13. Galloway again. Nice dig that time by the libero Briggs.
You have to convert these. These are the kind of contacts here that win championships.
Right side over the top of the block by number 11, Dimitrios Muklias.
When you get a free ball It has to be a kill 70-80% of the time. Do something to put pressure on the other team. Every time they make a mistake, you have to manufacture a point.
In system, perfect free ball pass. And you see the pressure that it puts on the block and defense. Muklius again. And that ball just over the sideline, tied at 14.
This is looking a lot like the Big West Championship thus far, Paul. It was a battle back and forth, a little bit of a push from Hawaii, 2-3 points. Long Beach would come back. We haven't even seen that much separation.
The media timeout after this point. It comes at 15 if nobody has called a timeout. Joust coming, nice slam dink that time over the top of the block by Hoagland. And at the media timeout here at Pauley Pavilion, side of the 51st NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship, Hawaii with a 15-14 lead.
This is an SOS from Nova.
Everything is disappearing.
Our outpost on Earth, Epcot, is in danger.
Hey, Quill, this thing is so broken.
Help the galaxy.
Quill, you seeing this? Quill! Well, you heard the lady. Get to Epcot. It's Save the Galaxy time. Again.
The only way you're ever gonna know what you're made of is by heading into the big, wild, raging, so damn beautiful it hurts world and finding out for yourself. Were you born to follow a path, or were you born free? The new Grand Cherokee, made for what you're made of.
Shop and buy online with Jeep eShop, where right now get 0% financing on all 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee WK models, plus 3 years no-cost maintenance with the Jeep Wave program.
The two best teams in the nation meeting in the championship inside Pauley Pavilion. Let's look at some key players in this one. The setting position. Aiden Knipe, coach's son, has had a terrific season. Jakob Telle, best setter in the NCAA. You've already seen that long distance set to the right. You're going to get that a lot. These numbers here for Nikolov and Hakas are in the previous 3 matchups. You see the production from Nikolov. I wouldn't expect Hawaii to shut him down, but I would expect Hakas to play far above these numbers. He had 2 really rough matches, 1 terrific match in that Big West 3-0 win for Hawaii.
We talked about the serve and receive phase for Long Beach State, turning things around. For Hawaii, Hakas was the best passer in the semifinal. 77% good or perfect. That's a wonderful number. Smart, high, flat shot, number 23. There is Hakas right on cue.
In the regular season meetings, Muklius, negative. Hakas, 100. In that Big West Championship, Muklius, 16 kills, 267. Pretty pedestrian 267, but you'll take the 16 kills. Hakas, 16 kills, 483. Hawaii goes with Greece.
Their 3 wing attackers, if you will, are all putting up, they being Hawaii, are putting up really good numbers. Nice block. Hakas participating in the block and helping Hoagland. Yeah, timeout. Long Beach State needed a timeout, but speaking of Galloway, 3 of 4. Hakas, 3 of 4. Muklius, 2 of 5. And no errors among any of them. The NBA playoffs, they do indeed roll on tomorrow with Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks on ESPN and on the ESPN app, with Dallas looking to even the series at 2 games apiece. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern with the Countdown crew. Are you a Luka Doncic fan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. He is unbelievable. And Chris Paul is having a fantastic season and playoff run at the age of 37. Spitting in the face of Father Time.
Yeah, they're going to need Devin Booker to stay healthy, though.
Yeah, no question. But he's come back from that hamstring, so he's been playing well. That's going to be a heck of a series, but I think Dallas really needs that game tomorrow. That's at 3 o'clock. Here's the scoring run by Hawaii, 5-1 over Long Beach State. Once again, the 4th meeting this year. Long Beach State won both in the Big West Conference regular season meetings at the Pyramid, 3-1, and then Hawaii returned the favor. The Big West Conference Tournament Championship, jam-packed Stan Sheriff Center in Honolulu, 3-0, but they were all deuce. Alan Knipe in his 19th year coached the U.S. Olympic team in 2012 in London.
Hawaii's gotten away here because they've converted easy points. They've taken some pretty good high swings in transition. We'll see if they can keep doing that. Long Beach has been up in front of them most times, just not getting the ball to bounce their way. Chaz's serve has been off as well.
That ball's drifting back off the net. Olivier, that ball's to the floor. The linesman jumped right in. A little bit of a late call, but the right call with number 31, Spencer Olivier. Having almost jumped backwards, but he put this ball away.
Yeah, this was fortunate. That's a bad set in two ways. Number one, it's outside the antenna. Number two, it's off the net. I'll take it the other way. Low and tight would be better than high and outside.
Nathan Harlan, 6'4" sophomore out of Ladera Ranch, California, 12 aces on the year. Good pass by Seward. Back row combination. That ball missed out of bounds by Galloway. Pretty open net. Nice combination play.
Shades of the Ball State match. Open net misses for Hawaii. Now he just sliced it off. He knows that middle blocker is there, and he just didn't get enough over the top. Got too much around the side of the ball with his right hand.
Good response by the Beach coming out of the timeout. Left-handed. When he was playing first for Norway as an 18 or 19-year-old, he was in a 6-2 system, and to explain, that means two setters, everybody hits, including Jakob Telle. Now he's a 5-1 setter for Norway.
Hey, you know you can do it from the service line, and he's 30 feet away. You put him at the net, just as deadly. Really fun to watch. A complete setter and also an offensive weapon.
Keone Thim, 6-foot sophomore out of Honolulu. This kid is a high flyer with a live arm. Going to the hot hand.
That ball needs to go to Godbold, not to the left.
That's a bad choice. Nikolov wasn't ready. He was ready this time.
What you're watching is an international level arm in NCAA volleyball. The pace and the direction are what set him apart.
Alex Nikolov just turned 18 on November 30th, wearing number 23. 4.6 kills per set, third in the nation, hit 386, and led the country in aces per set.
Enjoy him while he's here. I would be shocked if he's here in 2 years. I think the money's just going to get too big.
Oh, good set. Through the block and down. Hawkes, after a reasonably slow series against Long Beach State, is having a wonderful start. Number 23 in the black jersey for the Rainbow Warriors.
We talked to McKay Smith, assistant coach for Long Beach, and he said one thing they did in that victory in the Big West, Hawaii, was that they slowed the offense down just a little bit for Hawkes and Muklius, and it worked. Well, here we have a high ball situation, and Hawkes just gets up and takes a good cut through the top of the block.
Another ace, a lucky one this time for Hawaii. And Jakob Telle, that's their fourth ace so far in the opening set. I told you he had a live arm and could really jump. He can also cheer on his All-American setter. Timeout, second timeout called by Long Beach State.
Thing is with Telle, if you don't have this in your gym, you don't see it coming from your right to your left. A hard driven ball from a lefty with heat and spin. It's hard to prepare for.
Second time these teams are playing the championship in recent history. 2019 at the Pyramid, Long Beach State wins it 3-1. This was a heck of a match as well.
Yeah, and as you mentioned when we were talking to Charlie Wade, a completely different team in terms of the Hawaii side. And he said the guys who are here now were in the gym, but they were not starting. You have to be prepared to come and work to start. But this was in the middle of Long Beach being an absolute terror with their big three to Aniga, Ensing, and DeFalco all of whom have made an impact on the national team, and a couple of whom went to the Olympic Games this last summer.
Kyle Insing was the backup opposite to Matt Anderson, and TJ DeFalco had a superb Olympic Games. There was a lot of focus and pressure on that young man, and he played beautiful volleyball throughout the course of the entire tournament, which was a big disappointment for the United States.
Long Beach has a wonderful history of Olympians coming out of this program and making an impact internationally, winning medals.
I've got the list. We were talking about it. We'll get to it. I won't tease that up right now. This is a crucial juncture for Long Beach State to try to make a little mini run to get back in this opening set.
If I'm telling, I don't care coming out of a timeout, I light it up right now. Go for it.
He's so efficient. I haven't seen numbers like this. 60 aces and 53 errors on the season. That's a big swing by number 12, 6'5" sophomore. Clark Godbold, 11 of 16 the other night after a slow start, and he had been handled pretty well by Hawaii throughout the course of their series.
But he's capable, and Knight needs to keep him involved.
He's 4 of 8 so far. How do you not come out to Nikolov? Wonderful block, but how do you not set number 23?
Well, like I said, I think the more they go away from him, the better. I think you have to give Godbold swings. You have to keep stretching out Hawaii. They get him this time, but you can't just be a one-man show, as good as that one-man show really is.
I agree with you, but not at 2018. I agree with you.
You get a little time. You get a little time.
I think we're going to be here for a while. Look at that pass. Missed out of bounds. The connection not there. A tough chance for Aiden Knight. Remember, Long Beach is out of timeouts.
Charlie Wade, when we talked to him yesterday, he said it's not just about the aces. They've been good at that. It is about the constant pressure. You mentioned Tele's ace to error ratio. That's part of it. He's a huge part of that. But the other team, the other sides, and the other guys have done a great job.
That ball ripped. By number 23, back to Nikolov.
Yeah, now he has to do it from the line. So the one close chain skill in the game is serving. And Nikolov on the back row, he's going to have to rip off a couple here for Long Beach to get back in this one.
Remember, number 1 in the nation in aces per set. Overpass, got to have it. Oh, and that ball just out of bounds. A huge break for the Beach. And now a timeout called by Hawaii. Overpass was right there, hammered by Olivier, but dug back very nicely by Hawaii to keep the ball off the floor, but missed that shot just out of bounds.
The timing of that timeout shows you how much Charlie Wade and his staff know the capability of Long Beach to run off points in a particular rotation, with Nikolov at the line is one of the good ones. They call a very preemptive timeout here. Still a lead at 2, gave up 1 point.
Long Beach 21-5 on the year. They won the regular season in the Midwest, and Alexander Nikolov, the 6'6" freshman out of Sofia, Bulgaria. Everybody knew, and Charlie Wade, the Hawaii coach, told us yesterday at practice, we're going to see a lot of number 23.
Yeah, just how lopsided has it been? He has 200 more attempts than the next guy. He has 500 points. The next guy has a little over 300 points. It's ridiculous. He hit 385 this year. That's a really nice number.
Alan Knight made a really interesting point about last year when the season was short because of COVID, and the college teams in the United States didn't even start practice until February.
Right.
Well, Alexander was in Sofia, Bulgaria, training with the youth national team every day. Alan Knight said he may have just turned 18, but he might be, with all of the under 19 and under 21 and World Junior Championship matches, our most experienced player. And he's already shown that. You made a point about the international experience on a soft touch to recycle the point earlier on. 22-20, opening set, 3 out of 5 at Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles for the national championship. Good pass by Galloway. Back row, quick combination. Spiros Hakis once again.
I like the choice to go down the middle of the court because the scouting report says this ball goes to the right side, and it has already early on. but Tele will change it up. He's very good at responding mid-set and mid-match to what the other team is doing or what's working for Hawaii. His in-game adjustments are critical for the success of that side.
Like Thursday night against UCLA, right now Hawaii is outpassing Long Beach State. Against UCLA, Hawaii was 65% good or perfect. We'll update you the numbers on what both of these teams are passing so far in this championship match. Nikoloff with 7 kills, Godbold with 4. Long Beach State hitting .333, Hawaii hitting .440. Calvin Sanborn out of Santa Cruz, California, on to serve. Combination out of the middle, really good contact. Cole Hoagland wearing number 7 in black with a kill, and it's now 3 set points for Hawaii.
Keep utilizing that middle. Big, quick, control the ball, put so much pressure on the block.
Demetrius Wiklius back to serve, set point number 1. Row, quick combination right back at you, but still set points for Hawaii. Back row. Quick combination on the Bick after once again a nearly perfect reception by Hawaii.
One little mid-set push of points ends up being the difference in a very even first set.
For the 4th time, these two teams are getting together, this time for the championship. And it's Hawaii taking the opening set, 25-22.
Expectations come with the territory, but raising expectations, that comes with determination.
Back once again to ESPN's coverage of the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors, the defending champs, take the opening set 25-22. And when they take the opening set, life has been pretty good, pretty aloha here, 48 out of 50. With 2-time Olympian, Pepperdine All-American Kevin Barnett, I'm Paul Sunderland. Your thoughts on the opening set and what was the key for the push and the separation for Hawaii to pull away and take out Long Beach State in the first?
They converted an easy free ball right in the middle of that. They took advantage of those opportunities, and you saw the big swings both from Galloway as well as Hawkes against the 3-man block in transition. They swung with confidence, they put the ball high, and they got the bounces. Good things happen when you take huge, high swings against a well-formed block. Bad stuff happens when you try and go low seam against a well-formed block. So I credit the Hawaii hitters for what they did in transition. Also, Tele switching up the tempo, going overhead long early. Late in that set, you saw him going right down the middle of the court and really going against the flow of what he had been doing earlier in the set. He's keeping the Long Beach block off balance.
Jazz Galloway, who was struggling, hitting only 0.75 through a couple of matches here at Pauley Pavilion. Very nice in the opening set. He was 3 of 5. But Hawkes, 6 of 13. But as you pointed out, in the setting matchup, Jakob Tele is just the best in the business right now in college volleyball. Break for Long Beach State. Voss should have put that ball away.
Well, Voss didn't know what to do because it got on him too quick. Normally, you have a little more time with that overpass, but that thing was dug right back at him, and if anything, could have let it go right over his head. But it's tough as an aggressive net player. You want to put that thing away immediately and win the point for your side. I'm with him. I probably would have jumped up, same thing, swatted it with the paintbrush.
When Nikoloff is one-on-one, that's just not a fair fight.
It's over. Yeah.
Here's Torwey. Started this match off with an ace. And he's got another. 4 aces against UCLA. All of those coming in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th set.
Yeah, he's got 3 in this one. I think now waiting for the stats to update a little bit. It's been his first serve of each time he goes back. This is your moment to shine as a hitter. It's all you.
Good stab. Godbold can't quite get there, running out of real estate. Really good swing off the left side once again by number 11 in black, Muklius.
I was really concerned for Clark right there. I thought he was going to end up off the surface into the stairs of the bleachers. He gave it everything he had here.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah, Clark Godbold was one of the premier junior players for 3 years.
Played with your son.
Long Beach, correct. Played for SCBC and really had a tremendous run. They won at 17s. They were the best team in 18s when the whole world shut down. Didn't get a chance to repeat that title.
Up to this point, we'll give you some of the key numbers from the opening set. Why are you pulling your hands down against Nicola? Pretty smart.
I know why, because Nicola will go high flat. He has that. A lot of guys, when they come as a freshman to college volleyball, they don't have the high flat. But this guy does, so that's in your report. Says if he's tight like that, he'll just hit the ball and aim for the second level of Pauley Pavilion. You take your chances. Once in a while, he slaps it down over the top of you.
We saw an awful lot of that at the Olympics because the challenge system is so incredibly refined at the Olympic level. Challenge system, speaking of that, is in effect, of course, in this championship. Men's college volleyball, each team starts with 3 challenges. You can challenge ball in or out, a touch off a player, a net violation.
Yeah, and here with that ball being tight, the follow-through is the question. And did Nikolov rake his right hand down the net? That's the way it was called.
That would be a net violation. One of the things that can be challenged. Also, foot fault on the service line, foot fault on the 3-meter line, ball up or down on the pancake, and also 4 contacts. And if you are correct in your challenge, you basically have an infinite number. As long as you're right, you just keep on going. Second referee, Keith Merlis. Dean Hoskin is the first referee. You see Keith talking right now. They're wearing a headset and an earpiece, and so they're communicating. And the net violation was called against Hawaii.
Yeah, the elbow, the right elbow
of number 11, Muklius. That's good work by the officials.
And I like the system where you keep your challenge. You should not be at the mercy of the referees if they're having a bad day, if you're somehow out of challenges.
If the officials make a mistake, and it happens, you should not be penalized for correcting it. But they made that change also on the women's side. Galloway looking to go high flat and missed that one out of bounds, and a good response from the beach, now leading 4-1 in the second. Talked about some of the numbers as Aiden Knight goes back to serve in the opening set. Hawaii hit 464 to a really good number for Long Beach State, 355. Hawaii was the much better serving team. Olivier there, number 31, with a near dig, but the connection between Tella and Voss, 2 returning starters, already have a championship ring from last year. They're connecting nicely tonight.
Yeah, a couple of those pieces that are left. And what Voss will do is he'll jump. You see him there jump to his left. So he will fade away from the setter. That undoubtedly has made the Long Beach scouting report. But Voss there showing a little bit of range going back the other way. He will pop one way and jump the other. You saw the United States do that in the summer if you were watching the Olympic tournament from Tokyo.
And speaking of international experience, and we have, Guilherme Voss out of Brazil was voted the best middle blocker at the Under-21 World Championship. So there is a lot of talent out here. And Hawaii has a tradition of recruiting international players for a long, long time. And they've continued that for their starters from outside the United States.
Yeah, in fact, it actually cost them when people said they won their first title last year. That was not the first title they actually won on the court. They had their 2002 title vacated because of an ineligible player, a Greek player.
Nice chop back out of the middle by Shane Holdaway. Again, was 6 of 7. Neither of the middles are very involved in Long Beach State's offense in terms of volume.
Well, you can't be, and Holloway does a nice job with that ball. That ball is too low, and he kind of drops his elbow and pushes it. You saw him earlier miss one. He got enough of it that time.
Hitting 479 on the year. That is a sky-high number. Here comes Nikolov again. Sheward, the libero for Hawaii, doing an outstanding job. He had 16 digs. In Hawaii's semifinal win over UCLA, Brett Sheward, the 6'2" sophomore out of nearby Newport Beach. Both liberos outstanding. First team All-American Mason Briggs in the gold-colored jersey wearing number 3 for Long Beach State. He had 20 digs the other night.
I really like the idea for Muklius to cut the ball there. There was lots of room for that to be done. But if you make just the slightest error, put the ball a little too deep, Briggs will be on it.
Godbold now 5 kills on 10 swings. For the match, Long Beach State hit 417.
Yeah, I'd keep going to Godbold. I'd keep feeding him, Paul. I mean, even though they lost that first set, lost that point around 20 that you and I were talking about, you have to have some balance. You can't be totally out of balance and expect that you're going to have one guy defeat a team like Hawaii. You can get by with some other matches, other teams, to just feed one dude. And he's led in all but 3 matches. He has either had a share of or the entire lead, Nikolov, offensively in kills. But you'd like that not to happen here. I think if you could get that where he and Godbold are about the same, that's going to be a Long Beach victory.
The serving phase has been pretty clean so far on the night. Both teams applying pressure, both teams scoring a couple of aces, and not a lot of misses. What a concept, serving hard and serving in.
That's got to go.
Good read by Briggs. And knowing where you are on the court once again, the first team All-American libero making a smart play, and then knowing where you are on the floor, number 3 in the gold jersey. Long Beach dropped the opening set 25-22. A nice response. Good pass. That's an unforced error, so a couple of miscues for Hawaii. They need a timeout here?
Yes.
They were listening. We're going to have our first timeout of the second set. So Long Beach comes out quickly in this second set on a 3-0 run. 9-4 lead at the timeout. Well, Long Beach is known at the beach as the beach, but this is nearby Venice. The Santa Monica Pier, about 6 miles from here as the crow flies. We're in Westwood, home of UCLA and historic Pauley Pavilion, hosting this championship for the 16th time. The first time was in 1970, UCLA defeating Long Beach State.
6 miles, but 45 minutes, Paul.
It took me a little longer than that to get here.
We don't measure in distance in LA, we measure in time.
Godbold coming out of the timeout. Oh, smart shot. Very nicely done by Spiros Hakas. Oakland had a good semifinal on Thursday against Ball State. Once again, 5-set win. He was 6 of 9 with only 1 error. High flat swing by Olivier. Very nicely done by number 31.
All year long, it's been the 3 pins who have started each match. And Olivier has had a really nice season, hitting well into the mid-300s on the year. The one fault in his game has been his service. 8 aces. How many errors, Paul?
48.
48. That is unacceptable, but a nice big block. And a walk away. I like the little attitude there by Voss, but that's the one hole in his game. Olivier, he's second in digs. He's hitting in the mid-300s, carrying an offensive load, so he's got some improvement. He still has an upside in him, and I like that for Olivier, but he's got to work on that in the summer.
Yeah, 8 aces against 48 errors is just a tremendous deficit, and the exact opposite, 60 aces and 53 errors on the season for Jakob Telle, first-team All-American setter. That ball, what do you think caused that mistake by Nikolov?
Well, they're trying to run a little tempo to him. You see him hit a high ball more of the time. This one was designed to be more of a go over the top, and the timing's just not there.
Alan Knipe in his 19th year, head coach at Long Beach State, telling his team to slow it down. And in the post-match press conference about UCLA, he said that was one of the keys. We were just moving way too fast in those first 2 sets against the Bruins. Ace serve by Telle.
Nikolov, for all his experience we've talked about, is still a young player as a receiver. And when you can get to him, you can destabilize the rest of his game. Telle is the right guy to get to him. Now that he hit it off him and out of bounds, I would cut the next ball from the line. Telle's got enough control. He should be able to cut it to about 12 feet within about 3 foot of this sideline. From his perspective, the right-hand sideline right in front of Nikolov. You back him up, then you cut him forward. Then you back him up and you cut him forward. You play short deep with the receiver.
Now that we've got a timeout, let's take a quick look at the Capital One Cup standings. An update as teams compete for a combined $400,000 scholarship donation from Capital One. National champions, Georgia Bulldogs, Clemson, Kansas, North Dakota State, Michigan, Cal there as well. There you see the list on the women's side. Wisconsin, congratulations on winning their first ever national championship over Nebraska in one of the classic 5-set matches in college volleyball.
You want a tie-in here for Capital One in this match? Jeremy Brandt, the PA announcer here at UCLA, alumni of the program, is the Capital One guy. That's whose voice is carrying the arena right now.
Well, they're just very involved in collegiate sports, and we appreciate it. 3-0 run earlier in the set. Long Beach went on a 3-0 run to force a timeout by the Rainbow Warriors, and then coming out of that timeout, a very nice response by Hawaii at 26-5 on the year. And now Long Beach trailing 1-0, the #1 overall seed.
I'm cutting Nikolov all day.
Still serving for
There's Jeremy.
Number 10.
You've seen him before. I would cut it to the right top of your screen, right in front of 23.
Away from Nikolov, out of the timeout, and another air. 4 straight points for Hawaii.
Heat and consistency are a deadly combination from the service line. Because right now, all you want if you're Long Beach is an error. You want the ball out of bounds. You want the ball in the net. Take a deep breath and move back and try and recapture the momentum that you had early in this set.
What a cover. Great read by Briggs, the libero. Galloway with the chase. What a play on both sides.
Watch Briggs run up underneath this one. He's just looking at the block. You don't watch your own hitter. You got to watch the surface where the ball is going to come off of. He lifts that one up and gives Long Beach a shot here. Galloway going into the benches, saves it for the eventual Hawaii point. Awesome.
Long Beach, an errant free ball pass, trapped Aiden Knipe at the net. That caused Hawaii to have an opportunity.
Keeps Telle at the line.
Nikolov, high off hands and out of bounds.
Hawaii needs to make an adjustment with their block. Nikolov has not hit one ball down the line on a high off situation. He's everything into the angle, in fact, sharp in many cases. That's a pretty nice high swing into the angle. You're not going to get it, but move your block in about a foot. You have a lot better chance at either a good touch or a straight down house. Give up the line.
A house.
Yeah.
Big house.
House him.
That ball served out of bounds. Nikoloff's numbers now 11 kills on 20 swings.
So I have a question. They have the Manoa Roofing Company.
Yes.
I want to know who the first roofing company was, because the first one I remember is the Malibu Roofing Company at Pepperdine, but I don't know if somebody knows of a previous roofing company in the sport of volleyball.
I'm sure someone will reach out to you.
Al Skates would have the answer.
Hawkes having a really nice match so far. Back to serve. Slam dink down the line. And I agree with you. They're playing with more tempo, and I'm not sure it's so clean so far.
It's tough to do. It's easier if you have Tele in the controls.
Aiden Knipe, remember when his dad, his younger brother Evan, mother Jennifer, I remember when Alan Knipe was coaching the 2012 team, they were just little Groms, and that's how they got involved in the game. Nice shot through the block and down by Chaz Galloway.
Yeah, the best play on that was the second contact. This set here, that bump set overhead ends up being perfect for Galloway to take a big cut. That is all credit to the bump set overhead.
Galloway having a busy night so far relative to what he's done for the previous 2 matches, 4 of 8. Hawaii hitting .390 so far in the match, .341 for Long Beach State. Nice play. Hold away out of the middle off the perfect reception.
Holdaway doing a nice job locating himself relative to that ball. You have to locate relative to the setter in that case and jump up right next to him. And a nice delivery from Knipe.
Oh, that's a good swing off the edge. Nucleus number 11 with the wrist away.
Watch where this ball impacts the block. It's up in Olivier's fingertips. It's right off the side of his hand, but at the fingertip level. That's what you have to do. When I say high and hard, that's where you're hitting the ball, not down inside the forearms and the elbows.
Nucleus now 4 of 9. Both liberos are playing at such a high level. Olivier looking for hands, touch down the line, not there. Maybe a challenge. Remember, both teams have their full allotment, but Coach Knipe is not going to go to the challenge card here.
Briggs is doing a good job of just manufacturing something out of nothing. These are incredibly hard serves. And I think with a lesser passer in some of these spots, when they're hitting Briggs, it would be an ace. But Briggs is at least giving the beach a shot.
Service error there. We're tied at 14. Second set, Hawaii won the opening set 25-22. Long Beach State came out, led 8-4. Timeout by Hawaii. They won on a 3-0, then a 4-0 run, and now tied at 14.
Looking at the official stats, they only have 2 aces to the Rainbow Warriors, but they have only 3 errors. A lot of pressure and bad passes out of those. They're not getting the aces, but they're certainly keeping the screws to Long Beach.
Dug by Nikoloff, but that's going to be wiped out by a net violation, probably on Torwey, number 11 in white. And back to the serve and receive in the efficiency for Galloway and Hawaii. In the first 2 sets, which UCLA dominated on Thursday night, Long Beach just didn't pass the ball at all well enough. They got ace 6 times, 9 errors, and they completely flipped the script, as did Hawaii and Galloway against Ball State.
I give a lot of credit to UCLA for that. They were humming from the service line in those first 2, and then it kind of got away from them. And even in the 5th, there were some unconfident attempts from the line.
Perfect pass. Nikoloff on the back row, quick, the Vic. Why is that particular play so difficult to defend?
Because you have the quick coming right at you and you're not sure what to do. You see the middle weight there. I mean, this is a good read from the middle position from Cole Hoagland, but you can't be all alone against Nikoloff.
And Hoagland is an undersized middle blocker at 6'4". Oh, what a play by Tella. He's been an opposite. He's been a 6'2" setter. He's got a rocket left arm. You've seen it from the service line.
And he's got the right attitude, too, where he's going along the net. He believes in it. He's as much of a weapon as anybody.
Thim back on. Nice play on the overpass. Credit to the server and also Voss for the two-handed stuff. Timeout called by Long Beach.
The service game is just overwhelming Long Beach at this point. It hasn't been pure aces, but an overpass kill there. Earlier, when Tella was at the line, you saw 4 passes in a row that were at 15 to 18 feet. You just can't run an offense from there.
Timeout called by the Beach, trailing 17-15 and down 1-0. The Dodgers and Cubs finish up a 3-game series at Wrigley Field. Carl Ravitch, Eduardo Perez, and David Cohn will have the call on ESPN. It's also available on ESPN Deportes and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern with baseball Sunday night. Played 2 today. I know Clayton Kershaw pitched almost a perfect 7 innings. The Dodgers won the first 7-0. So they're playing 2 today, old school baseball, and finish it up tomorrow at Wrigley Field.
Don Shaw checking in, former head coach, men's and women's up there at Stanford, said there was a Cardinal roofing company, but I'm not sure if it came before Malibu or not. We're going to have to get a little more historical research happening here. Hey, applause, too, for what Long Beach has done inside their own arena in terms of growing the game and the atmosphere that they have built, the support from the students as well as the local community and fans and alumni. The great work done inside the Pyramid. It is a terrific place to watch a match. You need to go and watch a match, and they have brought that here with the hot dog costumes and the mustard and people in workman hats. I love it. Great job by the fans showing up on Thursday. I mean, go back Tuesday as well, but Thursday especially, as well as tonight.
And in Hawaii, nearly a sellout crowd for the Big West Conference Tournament Finals. These are the 2 programs that support men's volleyball from a spectator and university and athletic department point of view more than anybody else in the country.
The loudest place you will play in the United States for volleyball, Hawaii. I think it's louder than even BYU or Nebraska on the women's side. Like there may be more people, but the volume in Hawaii, even during timeouts, the chee-hoo and the calls back and forth. I put that on your list. Go to Long Beach first, then get yourself a flight to Honolulu. Okay, go there and watch a match as well.
Nathan Harlan back to serve. Critical moment for Long Beach State. Remember, they led early 10-5. And that ball missed out of bounds. Don't want to do that as a serving sub, but that's a very tough roll, coming cold off the sideline and having to bang that with some velocity and location. And look who's going back now, Tele, number 10.
Did you say velocity and location?
I did.
Yeah. Here it comes.
There is Maria Tella. She was in Hawaii a couple of weeks ago. And her son may be the most popular athlete in all of Hawaii. That ball is saved by Stewart. What a play! And Torway says, no way.
The Beach Roofing Company. Company president, the tree.
Well, let's just say there have been some acquisitions. There's the Hawaii Roofing Company that you mentioned. There's the Malibu Roofing Company, and we'll give one to the Stanford Roofing Company as well. First block of the match for Long Beach State. They're among the nation's leaders. I'll get you that number in just a minute.
It's not so much a company as it is a guy who's just with a startup. He's got a hammer and some nails. He's ready.
Tight set. Wow, that was nicely done by Muklius, matched up against Aiden Knight, advantage number 11 in black.
Yeah, you should exploit this all the time. I would set this a bunch. More importantly, good pass from Galloway. That creates that one-on-one opportunity, and they get out of that rotation. You don't keep Toei at the line.
Long Beach State, number 3 in the nation in blocks per set at 2.6. So having only 1 right now isn't good enough.
Yeah, getting Torway out of there was huge.
Where does Tella go? Quick combination. Huckus out of the back row.
Long Beach is looking a little overwhelmed. Hawaii is lethal in transition at the moment. Same way that they got that run that eventually won them the first set, they have had an extended session of that, flipping it from a 5-point deficit to a 3-point lead.
Long Beach State out of timeouts. Oh my goodness. Absolutely thundered down the line by Nikolov.
This second set's been a gem. From the off plays that have been made, going back to that block from Torwi, and the off plays by Hawkins, I think it was, who popped it up back off of his left hand without even seeing it to keep that rally alive, to a swing like that. Keep it on your DVR, watch it back.
That's going to be a lift. That's a good call. Interesting after that last play. Nikolov lightning down the line off of Tella. Tella came over and gave him 5 under the net.
Okay, watch now with a call there. The very next mishandled ball on the Long Beach side that doesn't get called, there are going to be some serious complaints.
Wrist away by Voss out of the middle. And pretty gutsy taking that one overhand back-to-back by Schuart.
Now you get off the horse, Paul, you got to get right back on. Dust yourself off, right back on it. And I tell you, Voss did a nice job of turning that thing. That ball was really low.
Voss on the night is 4 of 6, no errors at 667.
He needs more attempts.
And Hawaii's passing well enough to get him the ball more often. That is such a good swing by Nikolov. You could see him. Such a hard ball to hit, Kevin, coming over your head.
Yeah, but a missed opportunity for Hawaii. Yeah. That ball should have come up. That was a nice touch by the block. Went right to the middle back. That should have been a Hawaii transition opportunity. Instead, it's an opportunity for Long Beach to even it up with their best guy at the line.
15 kills now for number 23.
And 15 kills, 520. You knew that was going to happen. That's a given. The question is, what are the other people doing?
What a pass. Quick combination again. And Long Beach State had a chance to pursue, but just too much heat there.
So Godbold is hitting 182. And Olivier is hitting 429, but he only has 7 attempts. 4 kills on 7 attempts, just not getting the ball. So if you have that over on the Long Beach side, you have to tell Aiden Knight, go to 31 a little bit more. Let's see if he's the hot hand that we can balance out.
And also for Long Beach State, you got to pass a little bit better if you can against the serving onslaught and get the middle some easy kills.
Well, the ball has been at 15 feet for the last 20 minutes.
22-20. Olivier is roofed.
There's your answer. I would cheat and wait for the middle back attack. I wouldn't even jump with the quick if it's a perfect pass. I would just wait for middle back. Suck in the wings, chase the outsides.
6 blocks now from Muklius and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, only 1 for Long Beach State.
And I definitely serve Nikolov.
Godbold comes through with a really important kill. When you go back, Kevin, in a situation like this, are you serving a person or are you just hitting it as hard as you can?
That last serve?
Yeah.
I would have hit as hard as I could to that spot. Yeah, so I would have been spot first, velocity second.
Briggs, the All-American libero, was able to step in and create the side-out opportunity. Here comes Holdaway. Chance for the beach. That ball was misplayed. Nikolov missed. It was a tough chance, but Nikolov missed the set to the outside into the antenna.
That ends up being the perfect tip just about. Nice play by Olivier even to give that ball a shot, tracking it over the top of his head. Smart play by Galloway, who's facing a well-formed block.
Set point number 1 for Hawaii. Nice stab. Tele. Nucleus, what a magnificent delivery. Nobody up. Hawaii takes the 2-0 lead.
All set up by the swings earlier from Tele. He took some huge cuts at that center position. This time he fakes it, gives it to his hitter, and set 2 and a 2-0 lead belongs to Hawaii.
Live in Westwood, historic Poly Pavilion, side of the 51st Men's NCAA Volleyball Championships. Back with Kevin Barnett, two-time Olympian and All-American at Pepperdine. I'm Paul Sunderland. Hawaii now has taken 5 straight sets from the #1 seed Long Beach State.
We talked about at the start of this match the role that Hawkes had to play, number 23. Spiros Hawkes, he's hitting .333, has 10 kills, 4 digs and a couple blocks. He's done it in a lot of different ways. They've been utilizing him down the middle of the court. He's taken some good swings against a well-formed block on the outside. As he goes, so goes the success for Hawaii, and we have seen it. They are up 2-0 because of this young man's numbers.
And again, going back to Thursday night, their comeback 3-2 win over UCLA, 77% perfect or good pass. And Hawaii right now is really winning that phase. Very efficient and pressurized serving, and they're passing much better than Long Beach State.
Yeah, I talked about it in that last set. When you look at service aces, Hawaii is losing that battle 5-2. If you were to go take it further out to service pressure, that battle is definitely being won by Hawaii.
Getting a little of the aloha spirit there, 2-0, and their fan base, they're coming over to visit and feeling a little frisky.
And the Hawaii fans are awesome. They travel like Brazil travels internationally. Both these clubs doing an outstanding job of drawing their population to this arena, one of the best atmospheres we've had. I mean, this is not quite going back 2018, Long Beach and UCLA. You and I in this building, but it's about the same. It's very close. Men's volleyball has been on this great growth trajectory.
Long Beach State winning it back-to-back in 2018-2019. And Hawaii looking to go the 5th straight team, going back to 2013 to go back-to-back.
If Long Beach is going to avoid that in this set, a crowning of Hawaii, they're going to have to pass the ball. That is the very first thing. They're going to have to pass the ball. Without that, this will be over in 3, and we will be surprised. We've already been treated to a terrific match. It's been a really nice first couple of sets, very entertaining, top-level plays. It hasn't been a blowout like last year. But if this goes down in 3, I am surprised to see Long Beach lose in straight sets.
Well, Long Beach was able to turn it around against UCLA on Thursday night. We will see if they can press that button again, and they did it. In terms of serve and receive, remember against UCLA, Long Beach State was aced 6 times. UCLA had only 9 errors. John Speraw would take that to the bank every day of the week. The final 3 sets, UCLA, 0 aces, 13 errors, and Long Beach State is playing for the championship.
And Long Beach State put up 7 aces in that match, most of which the vast majority came in the last 3 sets.
Briggs, perfect pass. Back row combination, and Nikoloff registering his 16th kill on 26 swings.
If you're Hawaii, you can't back off. You can't get nervous or tentative from the service line. You have to just stay in your groove and keep doing what you do. UCLA ended up a little bit out of their rhythm, and credit to Long Beach. It was a little bit of UCLA getting tight, but Long Beach really put it to them and raised their own level. They're going to have to do it again.
Galloway. Jazz Galloway has been really good after struggling through the opening couple of rounds here in Los Angeles.
With that, he's going to be around 200, but it's way better than the 07 that he was batting before.
Good at the service line, good pressure. He's also digging balls. He had 9 digs the other night.
Well, people might ask, why has he been out there when his offensive numbers haven't been great? Did you see the last pass against Torway? I've been really impressed with Chaz as he's joined collegiate volleyball the last 2 years, his ability to handle the service reception duties of a top-level club.
A couple of smooth, early side-out scoring plays. Olivier with the kill off the perfect pass.
It's all about finding ways to contribute to your team. When the offense isn't there, particularly for big hitters, you have to find some other reason for the coach to keep you out there. Defensively, passing-wise, maybe you're giving direction to everybody else, support making the little plays. Because that's a good pass.
That's got to be a double contact.
Has to be.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
Lift,
no question about the lift. Superb dig, hanging in with no blockers in front, but no question on the double contact by Knight. Hawaii won the opening set 25-22. They won the second 25-21.
Jay Hossack, head coach for George Mason, who will host the championship next year, checking in with the Fairfax Roofing Company.
An acquisition. Maybe Elon Musk is on the prowl. Ball missed by Nikolov.
But again, a bad pass, not an ace. Ball at 30 feet. This is where Long Beach is struggling.
Well, but this is, as it was in the semifinal, this is really good service pressure from Hawaii.
Consistent.
They serve in a lot, again with velocity and location. Nucleus. Oh, what a dig by Stewart. Ball's too tight. Galloway with a tap down.
You do not want to be in a vertical competition with Chaz Galloway. That's the first dig. This was a nice swing, and then the overpass here. Number one goes about 45 inches off the ground. Terra firma. See you later.
Remember you had it last year. I can't do the sound of it. Give it to me. Take off on.
Flight number one. We're clear for takeoff.
Thank you. Thank you. I remembered it well. 6-3 advantage for Hawaii. Legal play. Stewart again, magnificent save. Violation here. I think they're going to call that Stewart made the contact. Let's check this out.
Great catch by the referees. The left foot of Stewart is going to be inside the 10-foot line. He handles it overhand, which means it cannot be attacked on the next contact above the level of the net. So that left foot was critical.
Big break for Long Beach State. Magnificent digs on both sides, but Stewart can set the ball legally as the libero only behind the 3-meter line. As you pointed out, he was in front of it with his left foot. Good catch by the referee.
And good job by Hawaii not arguing. Let it go.
Back row quick.
If you're Hawaii, you own the momentum right now. I don't care if you get a bad call, something weird happens. There is no reason to talk to the referees or delay the game. So this is the point we're making. Watch this ball go off the block. And watch the left foot of Stewart here. Get a look at it. It'd be just over the line. As he contacts the ball, it's considered inside the 10-foot line and therefore cannot be attacked above the level of the net. They didn't want the libero being the setter back when they invented the libero, so they put that rule in.
Well, it's a very good rule because otherwise it would be way too much of an offensive advantage.
He can pass it underhand, and that ball can be attacked. So a contact from the libero is legally attacked only when he handles it underneath with his platform inside the 10-foot line. Behind 10-foot line, do whatever you want.
Nikolov over the top of the block. To me, Long Beach State must pick things up in the serving phase, not putting enough pressure on Hawaii.
Well, it's not happening in this rotation.
No.
This rotation is based on serve the ball in, serve it to a tough spot to try and create some offensive disruption for Hawaii while you have your best hitters in the front row.
Nucleus, a rare hitting error. Missed that out of bounds. 3-0 run now. They called a net violation, so that'll bail out Nucleus and Hawaii. Was going to be a 3-0 run. Hawaii hitting .431 so far on the night. Long Beach State .317.
Think about those numbers, Paul. We saw at the very beginning of this match, they limit their opponents to just over 200 generally. And we have two teams that are hitting percentages which, in most cases, win you matches.
Long Beach State on the year hits .353, holds their opponents to .254. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors hold their opponents to .214.
We're watching a lot of top shelf offense.
That ball missed out of bounds.
But not in the last couple swings.
Well, Hawaii missed a couple of serves back-to-back, and now that ball missed out of bounds. There is Vladimir Nikolov. Won the World Cup, bronze medal World Cup, won a bronze at the European Championships. He played 16 years for Bulgaria, was their captain at the London Olympic Games in 2012, and was a professional until just 3 years ago. Long Beach looking for the lead, but missed out of bounds.
And this is where the ball too frequently on the left side gets drawn way off the net by Aiden Knipe. You cannot have the ball fading off. Tell my setter, make an error, you're going to make it inside the antenna, and don't pull the ball way off the net. If it's a little tight, that's okay, that's better. Right now, the ball being pulled away, and it makes it very difficult on a rhythm attack.
Voss just on the sideline. Really good serve once again by Jakob Telle. It won't go down statistically as an ace. Wow, he is good. Perfect pass by Briggs. And that ball blocked, but just out of bounds. Mark Moody, backup middle blocker. Alan Knipe, head coach for Long Beach State, making some changes.
They're not afraid to use 4 middle blockers in a match. They routinely use 3.
Nikolov now with 18 kills on 32 swings. Everybody knows where it's going, and he's still hitting .469. First freshman ever to be National Player of the Year.
Now, Alan Knipe is getting a bit of a delay here, a little almost de facto timeout. In a conversation with Keith Merlis.
We showed you briefly Vladimir Nikolov, and he knew Alan Knipe from the 2012 Olympic Games and from the World League, now the VNL. That was part of the connection when the Nikolov family decided that they wanted their son to have at least a couple of years of a university experience in the United States before turning pro. And so Vladimir and Alex sent out tape. Everybody knew who he was from the junior and under 19 and under 21. And he decided to sign with Long Beach State because Alan Knipe convinced the family that he was not only going to have the academic experience, but still grow as a player.
Yeah, Paul, I've heard how important that academic experience is to the Nikolov family. I believe that. But I think what's going to happen is the salaries are going to get too big. For an arm of his caliber, it's just going to get too big. And you're eventually going to be looking at money that is life-changing and go, okay, well, I'm leaving now. It's almost happened with some other players in recent memory. But when you start talking upper 6 figures, maybe 7, that's going to be trouble.
Nikolov again, good cover. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they love that on-2 play.
Telle, Nucleus hustling after that, but just to finish the thought, top flight, outside attacker, men's professional volleyball overseas, how much can they make?
Talking 7 figures.
Well, you know, they have name, image, and likeness now. Somebody in Long Beach needs to step it up if they want to keep this young man around.
Yeah, it'd be the first ever high-value deal for a men's volleyball player. I don't know if you caught it there. Aiden Knight almost went on two. He left it too low. But that play is frequent. When Aiden Knight gets an easy opportunity defensively and Nikolov is in the back row, he will throw it up in the middle of the court and let Nikolov come on two. Keep an eye on that, see if it happens again.
Tied at 11, must-win set for Clark Godbold and Long Beach State. That ball out of bounds. Good eye once again. We might have a challenge. We might have a challenge, and there is the challenge card by Charlie Wade. Once again, it's 3 challenges per team when you start the match. You can challenge in and out, touch off a player, net violation, foot fault on the 3-meter line, and on the end line, 4 contacts, ball up or down. This ball was called out of bounds. Another look.
I had that ball out, but just barely.
First look at the barn eye.
Yeah, the notoriously terrible barn eye. Keith Merlis, better vision. He's also going to have the benefit of being able to zoom in and check that thing out. But first look there, great job by our crew with the end zone view. I have it out.
We're going to try to do exactly the same as you just mentioned. Keith Merlis over on the sideline. We're going to try to blow this one up. There it is.
Ooh. Well, compression of the ball, Paul.
Yep.
That's the Hawkeye. That's in.
Any part of the ball on any part of the line.
Internationally, that ball, we would see the graphics come up and the ball would compress. We'd see an oblong shadow on the line.
Charlie Wade, once again, the co-coach of the year this season with David Niffen of University of California, Irvine in the Big West Conference. In his 13th year in Honolulu, started his coaching career at the University of Pacific. His counterpart, Alan Knight, now in his 19th year. The ball is ruled in, so Hawaii will retain all 3 of their challenges. And it's a 2-point switch now, the 12-11 advantage for Hawaii.
And Charlie Wade doesn't have to use a mulligan.
Big-time golfer.
Big-time golfer. Said he gets out, plays with his son a couple times a week.
Volleyball is so popular in Hawaii. Huge crowd following, huge media following.
Right.
Charlie was saying, you know, I have to do more media than any other coach in college. Hey, let's not be complaining here, coach. You got a state that's dedicated. The rating in Hawaii right now is probably about 85%. Kana, 6'5" junior out of Honolulu, the grandson of Wendy and Tony Crabb. Tony Crabb, assistant coach on the 1984 Olympic team, and quite a volleyball family. Chris Crabb, and then Taylor and his brother as well.
Right, Taylor in action, as a matter of fact, the AVP Austin this weekend. Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander, former alum of course, collegiate volleyball indoors and the national team, multiple Olympics.
Another challenge. That ball was called in. So we will have quick back-to-back challenges.
Yeah, there's some miscommunication there between Olivier and Knight. Olivier is there way early on that one.
Well, you pointed out earlier, that ball is drifting off the net. The timing not perfect either. We're taking back and forth shuttle look at this ball being in or out. But it looks like the sets from Aiden Knight keep drifting off. The outside attackers, and we've seen it from Nikolov, are almost having to jump backwards to try to attack this ball.
So you as an attacker, then you have to adjust, right? It's all about cleaning up the next contact. You can't just say that's a bad set, catch it, and throw it away, or hit it out of bounds, or make some sort of show out of it. You have to then adjust to what's happening. But you have to have an expectation. So what I tell my setter is never outside the antenna. I don't care what else you do with it, never outside the antenna. That at least takes one axis out of the whole equation and lets me adjust to that ball being on or off the net a little bit easier.
The officials looking at this one. Initially it was called in. Nikolov with 19 kills, Olivier with 8, Godbold with 6. Long Beach State hitting .333, and the ruling stands. The ball caught a piece of the line. So Olivier will continue to serve. Once again, must win for top-seeded Long Beach State. Hawaii won the opening set 25-22, won the second 25-21. Still only one scoring block for Long Beach State. Galloway tipping down the line.
On a perfect pass, I would set every time over Aiden Knipe. One-on-one every single time.
Just appears consistently, time after time, that Hawaii is incrementally able to put on more service pressure than is Long Beach State.
Well, Muklius has done it a multitude of times, mostly to where Olivier stands now in the right back. And he tried to go line.
Missed badly out of bounds. Yeah, I was trying to get it on Nikolov.
His stronger serve is middle to left. You're talking about area 1 or 6. That time he tried to go to 5, which would be line to line straight ahead. That's not where his comfort zone is. In which case, the way he's been serving, I like his comfort zone more than I like the person. Just hit that thing hard. You guys, they've been serving libero Briggs and having the ball at 30 feet. No problem. Hit the libero.
Sanborn on to serve once again. Back row combination. Good choice that time by Knight.
I agree on the choice and the location, too, on point from Aiden Knight. You don't have, because of tip coverage, the option for big number 23, so you got to find another solution.
First lead for Long Beach State in this third set.
The fans come alive.
Nikolov looking high, hands, and missed it. Smart shot by Galloway to recycle the point.
If I'm Galloway, I'm just keeping the ball in. I would serve down the line here to Nikolov. It doesn't have to be hard. You just have to make him work.
No problem for Briggs, but a nice save that time by Mark Moody just on the floor here in the third set. That ball was a little bit low, but Moody made it work. We'll take the media timeout. Long Beach State on top by 1. Pauley Pavilion, the 51st NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. Hawaii on top, 2-1. Long Beach State at the media timeout, leading it 15-14. The next stop on the Formula One schedule is the first ever Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. Our coverage begins tomorrow afternoon at 2 Eastern on ABC and ESPNU.
Ferrari's on the front row.
I'm a Lewis Hamilton guy. I'm a Mercedes.
Well, you're in 7th, I believe, last time I looked.
And he's never finished lower.
By Red Bull.
I got you. He's never finished lower than 6th. Knight coming out of the timeout. Easy serve. What a dig by Briggs, but couldn't keep the ball playable as Godbold went after it.
So here you go, 10 points to save your season, or 10 points to go back-to-back champion.
Keone Thim. And missed it out of bounds. That's a couple of breaks. Muklius, remember, not good contact, missed it long. And now they get past the serving sub for Hawaii. Nikolov, 19 kills, a couple of digs to go along with an ace. Oh, nice dig. Briggs could not get there. He made the nice read, but could not get under that ball. The Hawaii block just too physical.
Maybe that ball should have gone to Knipe, who was there. A valiant effort by Olivier, but that is a tough spot to be in when the block is waiting for you and you have to try and fly in and push the ball.
7th block now for Hawaii. Again, still just 1 for Long Beach State.
Could be moment of the match here for Long Beach. They have to get out of this rotation.
Good call. Oh, what a block by Voss, along with Hawkes.
For Hawaii, huge to keep Tele at the service line. That's big. So the question for Long Beach is, where do you go? Do you go right back to that middle back? You're trapped with your best hitter in the middle back. Alan Knight wants to talk about it.
Yeah, as good as Tele is and as consistent as he is from the service line, he just doesn't miss. You got to try to freeze him. So Coach Knight for Long Beach State is going to burn a timeout. Hawaii looking to go back-to-back, becoming the 5th team last year. In Columbus, Ohio, we were there for it, and it was never in doubt. BYU, loaded with talent, had a solid season. We expected it to be a real battle, but it was all the Rainbow Warriors, 3-0.
And a veteran squad, Rado Parapunov, Colton Cowell, and a host of other fantastic guys.
Gage Worsley.
Yep, playing the libero position.
Pat Gassman as well on that team.
The Gassman, one of the great volleyball names of all times. The Gassman, going 6'10", probably, what, 270? You can't get around that guy. It was an absolute blowout. BYU had nothing for Hawaii's service game. You look at how this has gone. Those repeats, you mentioned that, Paul. Disappointment for BYU. 3 times we've seen them. You and I have seen them, and they've been served off the court and dismissed 3-0 every single time.
I want to remind you, it's a big weekend of volleyball, no question about that. From the Gulf Coast to the West Coast, watch the NCAA Women's Beach Volleyball Championship tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on ESPNU. Last I checked, USC had advanced into the championship match and would get either Florida State, LMU, or a rematch with UCLA. USC are the defending national champions.
Only 2 aces. That does not tell the service story entirely.
Constant pressure because he rarely misses.
We're sitting at about 18 feet. That's where the ball has been passed 70% of the time until his serve.
Overpass again. Good save that time by Knipe.
And Knipe's going to be called as a back row blocker. Long Beach trying to say.
They're sorting this out.
Yeah,
look, Tele, the captain for Hawaii, is getting it explained. That was a bang-bang play, and they have given the point and possession to Long Beach State.
Well, but initially it was signaled for Hawaii. I was going off our referees. And Merlis is looking across, not sure what is at odds here. This is a big moment.
It's a huge moment. Got to get this right. Charlie Wade has made his case, and the 2 officials are going to talk it over. Here it is again, Kevin.
So Aiden Knipe is in the back row. And that's a back row block to me. There's no question that in live action it was coming right at our position. That is a back row block. Because Aiden Knipe is coming from behind, effectively the middle front. In this case, Clark Godbold, who's playing opposite. He can't be up there doing that. If you want to call somebody over, I suppose you could, but I think that ball was on.
Kevin, I'm agreeing with you. I'd like to see it again if we possibly can. You cannot block a set. Let's take another look.
So Aiden Knipe comes from behind Clark Godbold. He is in the back row. He runs across here. That ball is hit on top of the tape. So you can't be a back row blocker here.
Was he below the net? I think that they're ruling that Knipe was below the plane of the net, so that technically is a dig, not a block.
Maybe. In which case the ball is then terminated by Long Beach.
Well, they'll have to replay the point.
He's above the level of the net right there.
I agree.
Because as the angle of the camera were to go higher, his hand would actually be lower. So even from the angle that we have, which is raised, his hand is above the net. And that's what Charlie Wade's going to argue.
Well, he's officially challenging now after the officials have discussed amongst one another.
In any case, a huge delay to the match.
Do you remember in the 5th set on Thursday night, Long Beach State and UCLA, when Aiden Knipe cut his hand? There he is with a bandage. There was a really long delay at a crucial juncture there as well.
So here's a look at the net cam. Watch Knipe.
He's
That ball
above
is
the plane of the
traveling
net.
over, and he is above the level of the net. That ball should be Hawaii's ball.
Well, these two teams meeting for the national championship for the second time. It was Long Beach State coming out on top in 2019 at the Pyramid, about 25 miles south of here. A magnificent facility.
So I could see an overcall, and that's what Mason Briggs wants. He wants an overcall there, saying that Hawaii reached over and that Knipe has the right to play that ball vertically, which he's trying to do on his own side. But I think that ball is traveling at the net and going to go over the net. So it becomes a question of when you attack it. Now, Hawaii's done themselves a favor by attacking that. Many times you'll see players block it.
Yeah.
You are far more likely when you go up to a block move of this level of joust to get called for an over. But that ball right there, there's a quarter of the ball that is on top of the tape. That's my ball as a hitter.
Well,
I'm going to hit that thing every time and make the referees call it.
Interesting conversation I had with the officials coming in the building this afternoon from the parking lot. And I asked them, I said, can you challenge a ball in the plane or a back row blocker? And they said no. You cannot challenge it. It's not one of the categories. It's a judgment call. But here we are.
Here we are.
I asked that specific question in anticipation of something like this. The decision has been made and it will now be rendered.
They're going to go to the net violation. I mean, either way,
Yeah.
Hawaii ball is the right call.
Yeah, and that's good work by head coach Charlie Wade and his staff. A lot of.
Allen's going to want that ball was attacked over the level of the net, but at this point the decision has been made. He's going to argue and perhaps delay further, but we've had a long enough break. Let's get back to some volleyball.
Yeah, this is where the officials need to take control. There's been enough conversation.
Yeah.
You've made your decision.
But we have like father, like son. We have one Knipe on the R1, one Knipe on the R2. They at times have killed the momentum of other teams during matches with delays that are not related to what's happening on the floor. Like a veteran sand timeout in the old AVP.
You know, do what you can get away with. And Jakob Telle
and ice
still back at the line. Well, he does come from Norway.
It's been 6 or 7 minutes.
He's used to a lot of ice. Perfect dig by Nikolov. Through the block and down by Olivier.
Maybe a match-saving point for Long Beach. Said somebody else has to step up. Is it Olivier is the question.
And that was a really good set by Aiden Knipe. Perfect location, timing, and rhythm.
Olivier, 333, 10 of 18. He's in the front row. I'd keep going to him.
Torwey already has a couple of aces. Oh, that could have been a double contact off the edge and out of bounds. Yeah. Brett Sheward, the libero for Hawaii, has been spot on from start to finish.
Yeah, that ball was gapped and a few words through the net. I think some of those might include, it hasn't been called on your side. From Jakob Telle.
16 digs in the semifinal win over the second seed Ball State Cardinals. Ace serve.
Only the third. Comes at a huge moment, and not with the toughest serve either. This is in between two receivers. Placement over power. And we mentioned the lack of just pure points. Timing is everything.
Well, Hawaii just doesn't miss. The other night, they had 13 aces and 18 errors in 5 long sets. Pressure applying serving team so far in the tournament.
Hawaii's on a 5-1 run. And both these teams, Paul, to your point, are serving efficiently. Just 8 service errors for each side. And Long Beach has 5 aces. The problem is Long Beach has not been able to generate the consistent pressure you just mentioned that Hawaii has. Long Beach has consistently been setting the ball from behind the 10-foot line and trying to run an offense, which you really cannot from that position, whereas Hawaii has been in rhythm and in motion more often. They've given up more clean aces, but they have been in system more often otherwise.
It's been a lot of very, very difficult swings for the Beach so far on the night, trailing 2-0. Hawaii is playing in this championship for the 3rd time in a row. Remember, there was no tournament in 2020. Lost in 2019 to Long Beach State, beat BYU last year, and here they are once again. 3 very different teams. Guilherme Voss, All-American middle blocker. Hawaii now with a 20-17 advantage in the 3rd. Got ball down the line, but out of bounds.
It's slipping away. So this next serve has to be in. There are times to go for it, and there are times to keep it in. You want to hit Nikolov, fine. I don't care if you even hit Briggs with an easy roller. You keep the ball in. You keep the pressure on Long Beach. They are in danger of self-destructing.
Long Beach State, 6 hitting errors in this set alone. That's a little bit of pressure relieved against the Beach.
Godbold's been trying to get after Chaz Galloway with the wrist away hard. He didn't quite get there last time. Schubert took it.
Oh, good rip into the cross court by Muklius.
That was an outstanding serve from Godbold. It set this up, and just that ball tracked too far inside. That block has to be another 2 foot to the right-hand side.
Muklius now 10 kills on 21 swings, no errors, hitting .476. Tella has been as advertised, just superb all night long. Voss with the dig, that ball fisted. Just out of bounds. Long Beach still alive.
And how about that? Who's playing middle back? Guilherme Voss. Your middle blocker serves and plays middle back.
Well, remember in the men's game, you're only allowed 6 substitutions as opposed to women's college volleyball where you get 15.
I thought it was 51.
No, it's 15.
Okay. It's essentially, except in a very long set, infinity.
Harlan again. Nathan comes in. That's back-to-back serving specialist has come in and missed. Hawaii is 2 points away.
Fans are feeling it. There are times to go away from your guy. There are times to set him. Right now is the time to set him. You have to have a side out here. I would cheat everything I have to 23. Who cares about the D-ball at this point?
That ball at the 3-meter line, and still Nikolov off the block and out of bounds. Tough swing.
Both front row setters. I wouldn't be surprised to see on a perfect pass Tella take a cut at it. It's the right moment.
Off the edge. What a delivery against the grain after a clutch pass by Galloway. Championship point. The building where it all started 51 years ago. UCLA won that first ever championship over Long Beach State, and Hawaii looking to make it 2 in a row. Jack Walmer on to serve. Championship point number 1. That's going to be a net violation. Hawaii's won it.
A reconstituted Hawaii team with just the right blend of new pieces. And Jakob Telle again improving and sets his team to back-to-back national championships. What a job from the service line by that man and by his entire team.
And for back-to-back championships, yes, but also without losing a set. 3 sets to none last year over BYU. 3 sets to none this year over Long Beach State.
Hawkins finishes hitting .333 with 14 kills. Muklias hits .500, 11 kills. We said the outsides were key. Hawaii raises the trophy.
What a solid performance in every phase of the game. Blocking, serving, attacking, just tremendous. And congratulations to the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, back-to-back national champions. I want to remind you, coming up next, the 2022 Jacksonville ACL Cornhole Championships, the Bag Brawl at Mountain America Expo in Salt Lake City, Utah. Join us on ESPN Plus for the 2022 Men's National Championship Trophy presentation. For my partner, Kevin Barnett, I'm Paul Sunderland from Poly Pavilion. Good night. Aloha. Championship to Hawaii.